What is up, everybody? It's Cobes here, and today I am back with another Fortnite video. In today's video, I will be ranking every single pickaxe from worst to best. Last video, I did rank every single back bling from worst to best, and that video got over 2,000 likes. That's what I asked for. For this video, I'm asking for 4,000 likes if you guys want the glider video, ranking every single glider in the game from worst to best. Then I'll end up doing the skins if I end up making the glider video. One thing I did want to mention before we hop into this, I'm going to be speeding through these. I'm going to speed through, I would say, the middle section, talk about the worst, talk about the best the most, but asking what is the worst out of 142 things is a very difficult task, but one pickaxe stood out to be the worst. At my number 142 spot, the carrot stick. Easily one of the worst and ugliest pickaxes ever to be in this game. I would say it's the worst. I feel like a lot of people can agree with that. That one's not going to be controversial at all. But for the carrot stick, it looks like there's just a bunch of different random Easter stuff thrown into one pickaxe. It does not look good at all. Moving on to my number 141 spot, I had to give it to the auto cleave. It seems like the auto cleave is always in the item shop, but I never see streamers using it. I never see YouTubers using it. I never have people send me a picture of it saying, hey, I used your code to buy this pickaxe. It's never happened before. I don't think it will ever happen. This pickaxe is one of the worst that always shows up in the item shop for God knows what reason. Moving on to my number 140 spot, I had to give the Battle Pass pickaxes some love. The Lollipopper. Easily the worst Battle Pass pickaxe in this game. I really don't know what they were thinking. It's a little bit too big for me. I mean, way too big for me. The color scheme really isn't appealing. There's not a single redeeming quality to this pickaxe. Moving on to my number 139 spot, the Ava. This one, by far the second worst. By far. These two are in a league of their own for worst. By far one of the worst Battle Pass pickaxe, the Ava. I don't like this one. It seems like they really didn't know what to do. So they had a pickaxe that kind of moves up and down like it's a robotic pickaxe. That's cool, I guess, but not with this design, not with this color scheme. One of the worst in the game. Moving on to my number 138 spot, the Rescue Paddle. Oh my god. 137, the Pile Driver. I really don't know what this is trying to be. Some pickaxes, I'm like, okay, the attempt was there. I know what they were trying to do. What is the Pile Driver? Someone tell me in the comments section. Moving on to my number 136 spot, I gave it to the Abominable Axe. And I really didn't even notice that we had 3 Battle Pass pickaxes in the top 10 worst pickaxes in the game. That is insane to me. I don't know how they keep failing over and over. Each season they add a horrible pickaxe every single time. We can't get away from it. But this one, I feel like it's too big, and I really don't like how there's fish sticking out of it as well. I think that makes it look even worse. If it was a stick with a block of ice on it, it would probably be somewhere in the middle of the list. It definitely wouldn't be top tier, but it wouldn't be bottom tier. Moving on to my number 135 spot, the Persuader. This one is very similar to the Auto Cleave. It's almost the same size as the Auto Cleave as well. It's got a little bit too much going on with it. They tried a little bit too hard and failed miserably. Moving on to my number 134 spot for a very simple pickaxe that failed, the Airfoil. Sometimes, you know, the simple pickaxes, when they do fail, I will put them lower on lists because I feel like if it's creative, I can at least say, hey, you tried with the creativity aspect, but you failed. With a simple pickaxe, I feel like it has to be a hit. It has to be a great pickaxe, and this very boring color scheme, just a boring pickaxe overall if I had to put a word on it. Moving on to my number 133 spot, the Jack Spammer. Oh my god. Alright guys, I'm going to start rushing through these. I think most of these are self-explanatory and sort of the middle of the list. I don't really care to talk about the pickaxes too much. If they're lower middle, that means I dislike them more. If they're higher middle, that means I like them a little bit more. But Moving on to my number 132 spot, the controller. 131, the flatliner. 130, the you shouldn't have, which you shouldn't have. Moving on to my 129 spot, the Ascordian. 128, the Gale Force. 127, the Splinter Spike. 126, the Herald's Wand. 125, the Tendril. 124, the Throttle. 123, the Silver Fang. 122, the Moonrise. 121, the T-Square. 120, the Empire Axe. 119, the Cutting Edge. And now I'll stop. I'll stop and talk about a few random pickaxes. The Cutting Edge, I feel like, has such great potential, but it just doesn't work out. I don't know exactly what it is. Maybe it's a little bit too small. Maybe it's like the shape of the top of the pickaxe. It's too flat. I feel like if it was a longer pickaxe that actually looked like a pickaxe, like a real life pickaxe, it could have worked out. But this one, it's just a little bit too weird for me to like. Same with our number 118 spot, the Cold Snap. This one, it's there, the attempt is there, but it failed miserably. Moving on to my 117 spot, the Brat Catcher. 116, the Spiky. 115, the Stop Axe. 114, the Global Axe. This is one of those pickaxes, when it first came out, I fell in love with because it was so creative, it was so new, it was fresh. And at the time, I would say it was probably one of my favorite pickaxes just because it was something so different. But as of right now, it's a little bit too big. It's just so obtrusive. Like, if you're using this pickaxe, that's all you're gonna see. Just literally the earth. The sun rotating around the earth like it does in real life. Moving on to my number 113 spot, the Reckoning. 112, the Pick Squeak. This one, the noise really kills it for me. I can't use it. That is literally you swinging the pickaxe. Listen to that, you know, cut that clip out and copy paste it 1,000 times in Sony Vegas. Listen to that and try to go to sleep. See what happens. Moving on to my number 111 spot, the Elite Cleat. 110, the Golden Pigskin. These two pickaxes are very similar, but they both fail in my eyes. Moving on to my 109 spot, the Director's Cut. 108, the Scrambler. 107, the Lucky. 106, the Axe, the AXE. One of those pickaxes that we thought was going to be free, but it wasn't, and then it turned out to be even worse than I thought it was going to be. So just overall, a terrible situation, terrible pickaxe. Moving on to my 105 spot, the Tactical Spade. 104, the Icebringer. This one had a lot of potential. I just don't really like the flat pickaxes for the most part, and I'm sad to say this one is a flat pickaxe that I really didn't want it to be. Why did it have to be that? This one has so much potential. Honestly, if it wasn't flat, I think it could have been in top 30 easily. Moving on to my 103 spot, the Scratch Mark. This one, a Battle Pass pickaxe, so simple, pretty boring, I would say. In the simple pickaxes, I end up liking for the most part. This one, too simple for a Battle Pass pickaxe. I feel like it could have been a lot better. Moving on to my 102 spot, the Chill Axe. 101, Patty Whacker. 100, the Lead Swinger. 99 spot, the Sawtooth. 98, Harpoon Axe. 97, the Lug Axe. 96, Night Slicer. 95, the Positron, which does come with the Carbide. I think overall, this is where it starts to change tides a little bit. The pickaxes aren't horrible at our number 95 spot. I would say 96 and below, I really wouldn't care if those pickaxes weren't in the game. 95, the Carbide pickaxe is actually pretty good. I do like it. 94, the Axeroni. 93, the Tree Splitter. 92, the Crowbar. 91, the Frozen Axe. 90, Slam Dunk. 89, the Magnifying Axe. 88, the Jaw Blade. 87, Smash Up. 86, Six String Striker. 85, the Stellar Axe. And guys, in all honesty, the Stellar Axe may have felt a little bit shorter than I would have liked it to, but it's still a default pickaxe that I don't really care for all that much. I think it's dope. I think it's somewhat creative. It's very, very simple, but I don't know, 85 spots somewhere in the middle. I feel like it might be a little bit lower than I would have liked it to, maybe 70 spots, somewhere around there, but still wouldn't have made it so much higher. It wouldn't have made it in like top 50 or anything. Moving on to my number 84 spot, the Permafrost. 83, the Dark Shard. 82, the Onslaught. The Onslaught would have made it a lot higher if the Resonator was not in the game. 81, the ski boot. I liked it when it was rare, don't really like it as much anymore. 80, the Vuvuzela. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm pronouncing it wrong for sure, but definitely a cool sounding pickaxe, very colorful, something a little bit different. It kind of reminds me of something out of Willy Wonka. I don't know why, but it just does. 79, the Snow Globe. 78, the Harvester. 77, Propeller Axe. 76, the Web Breaker. 75, the Spectral Axe. 74, the Close Shave. 73, the Fillet Axe. 72, the Faded Frame. 71, the Flurry. 70, we have the Clean Cut. 69, the Lamp. Moving on to my number 68 spot, the Exercise. 67, the Ice Scepter. 66, the Chomp Jr. 65, the Disco Brawl. 64, the Pulse Axe. 63, the Glow Stick. 62, the Forebearer. 61, the Drum Beat. In our number 60 spot, the Caliper, if the pinpoint wasn't in the game. So exclusive skins, or pickaxes in this case, are ruining the spots of the OG pickaxes. Caliper, a great one. Didn't want to put them both super high up on this list, and pinpoint is a lot better. Definitely a better color scheme, what I would want more. Moving on to my number 59 spot, the Iron Beak. 58, the Instigator. I really do like this very simple pickaxe. I want it, can never get it. Moving on to my number 57 spot, Guando. Okay, there's a picture of it. It's simple, it's clean, I like it. I like the dragon on it as well. Moving on to my number 56 spot, I had to give it to the Toothpick. Honestly guys, this was one of my favorite pickaxes when it first came out. It probably dropped a little bit lower than I would have liked it to, but this kind of list is so difficult to make. I still really do like the Toothpick. Moving on to my number 55 spot, the Guiding Glow. You know guys, this is such a simple pickaxe, but I love the noise it makes. I didn't really take into consideration the noise for all these pickaxes, but if it's horrible, like the Pick Squeak, I put it low on this list. If it's amazing, like the Guiding Glow, I put it higher up on this list. If it's average, if it doesn't really affect the pickaxe, it doesn't matter at all. It's solely based on looks. Moving on to my number 54 spot, the Cliffhanger. 53, the Battle Axe, a new one that I really do like. Very, like, huge. It's huge. You can't even imagine how big it is until you actually see it in person. Moving on to my number 52 spot, the Victory Lap. 51, the Cookie Cutter. 50, Pink Flamingo. 49 spot, the Death Valley. 48, the Bottom Feeder. 47, the Virtue. 46, the Night Owl. And our 45 spot, the Anarchy Axe. If I would have made this list a couple months ago, the Anarchy Axe probably would have been near the bottom, but I've actually went back and used this pickaxe and it's actually really dope. I like it. It's sort of like a heavy pickaxe, sort of like the Bottom Feeder, I would say. If that doesn't make sense to you, well, go use it. You'll know what I'm talking about. Moving on to my number 44 spot, the First Downer. Number 43, the Angular Axe. 42, the Crimson Axe. 41, the Dragon Axe. At our number 40 spot, so top 40, the Reaper. The Reaper is such an iconic pickaxe. I feel like if you said one pickaxe for someone to name, the first pickaxe to come to mind, the Reaper would probably be that one, just because it's so iconic in this game. It was rare for such a long time, everyone wanted it, and it was just in the item shop yesterday. I think it might even be in the item shop as this video is uploaded. Moving on to my number 39 spot, the Inverted Blade. 38, the Gatekeeper. 37, the Rainbow Smash. 36, the Renegade Roller. 35, the Party Animal. Another pickaxe kind of put further down on the list because there's a reskin version of it. I don't know why, but the reskin versions are usually a little bit better than the originals for the most part. Moving on to my number 34 spot, the Bite Mark. 33, the Plunger. 32, the Clutch Axe. The Clutch Axe is simple, but it's also got a lot going on with it as well. I love the noise behind it. This is a pickaxe I would recommend if you want something simple, but also somewhat creative and detailed. I think this is the pickaxe to go with if you're looking for what I just described. Moving on to my number 31 spot, the Icicle. 30, Scorcher. 29, the Icebreaker. This one fell a lot because of the Vision, which is a reskin version of it. I think the reskin version is easily better, guys. Moving on to my number 28 spot, the Raiders Revenge. 27, the AC/DC. 26, the Pointer. 25, the Power Grip. These two are, I think, Chinese exclusive pickaxes, but they're both dope. I didn't want to put them too high up on this list because not many people can get them. they really don't even exist for most people because like you really can't even get them unless you play like 40 hours on a Chinese server, which good luck doing that. I mean, you're just gonna scream the whole time. Moving on to my number 24 spot, the Jingu Bang, 23, the Balloon Axe, 22, the Thunder Crash, 21, the Bootstraps. This one comes with the fish stick and it's absolutely amazing. It doesn't look good, I'll be honest with you guys, but when you use it in game, there's something about the noise, the look of it, the feel of it, it's just amazing. Moving on to my number 20 spot, the Resonator, 19, the Tenderizer, 18, the Spectre. The Spectre moved up way higher up on this list, sort of like the Anarchy Axe. If I made it 2 months ago, wouldn't have been here, but as of right now, I love this pickaxe for a very simple black design. It's really good. Moving on to my number 17 spot, the Spell Slinger, 16, the Studded Axe, my 15, Tat Axe, 14, Skull Sickle, 13, the Candy Axe, and I feel like the Candy Axe has to be placed very high up on your list. Doesn't really matter if it was rare and it's not anymore, it's still a great pickaxe. My number 12 spot, the Oracle Axe, one of my all-time favorites. I love that little glowing ball in the middle. I love the color purple, and this one definitely has a lot of purple and black. Very big pickaxe, but very simple at the same time, with a lot of detail. You know, contradictory, sure, but still great. Moving on to my number 11 spot, the Rift Edge. My number 10 spot, the trusty number 2. One of my all-time favorite Battle Pass pickaxes. Same with the Rift Edge, but trusty number 2 is that trusty pickaxe I can go to if I'm looking for a very simple design. It's super tiny, but I do like that about it. Moving on to my number 9 spot, the Carver. If I'm looking for just simple clean, the Carver is what you gotta look for. Moving on to my number 8 spot, the Razor Edge, which does come with the Vertex. Honestly, the sound of this one, it sounds like a lightsaber. It's so amazing, guys. The look of it as well, something a little bit different. You won't see it ever again, I doubt it. It sort of reminds me of like the Power Grip and what else is it called? The Power Grip and the Pointer. It sort of reminds me of one of those pickaxes. So if you can't get those, maybe go with the Razor Edge. Definitely recommend it. Moving on to my number 7 spot, the Turbine. Another one where the sound of it, for some reason, it just propels its way so high up on this list, and I really feel like this one did it. Razor, or the Turbine, one of my favorites. So like, I could understand if you think it's ugly, but I don't. I love it, guys. It's one of my favorites. Moving on to my number 6 spot, the Pinpoint, which is the Caliper reskin. I feel like this is the color scheme it needs. It doesn't need that little tint of green that the Caliper does have. It needs that red, gray, and black. Just a perfect mesh of colors that work out great. Moving on to my number 5 spot, the Vision. Honestly, guys, new pickaxes, you know, sometimes they look a little bit better because they are new. The Vision, that's not the case. It's one of my all-time favorites. When I saw it was leaked, I said, this is gonna be one of my favorite pickaxes. Made it into the top 5. Moving on to my 4th spot, the Cat's Claw. Guys, if I'm looking for a simple pickaxe, this is the one I go with almost every single time. Cat's Claw, simple. It comes with the Hime. I don't know why, but the whole Hime set. Shiro, Hime, Cat's Claw. My God, that's perfection. Thank you, Epic Games. Thank you. Imagine if they didn't add that. I'd be missing out on one of my favorite skins, favorite back bling, and favorite pickaxes. That's crazy to think about. Moving on to my 3 spot, the Axe Caliber. Guys, my all-time favorite Battle Pass pickaxe. I love it. There's not another pickaxe design that looks like this one, and I hope there never is. Well, I also hope there is because I would like a reskin version of it, but I doubt there ever will be. This one of a kind, so simple. I love the color scheme as well. Moving on to my number 2 spot, the Upright Axe. You guys might be screaming at the top of your lungs. My top 10, I will admit, is somewhat weird. The Upright Axe, though, one of the best sounding things I've ever heard. Tink, tink, tink. But it sounds way better than that. You just gotta go use it, guys. Go buy the Upright Axe if you can. It's one of a kind. I love the look of it as well. I definitely am an NFL fan. I can't wait to watch the games tomorrow, which I will be doing, by the way, or today actually when this video is uploaded, but I'm recording this a day before. Yeah, this is the pickaxe to go with if you're an NFL fan, trust me. But Moving on to my number 1 spot for one of my only rare pickaxes at this point, my rarest. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, guys. If it's rare or not, I don't care. The pot of gold. My favorite pickaxe in this game, guys. This, my top 10, is my top 10. I wouldn't change it. It doesn't matter. My top 10 is in order. This is my correct top 10. You know, some pickaxes I really wish I could keep, like Rift Edge, Oracle Axe, Candy Axe, Skull Sickle, Tat Axe. I would love to keep those. If I could keep my top 15 and never use another pickaxe again except for those 15, I'd be like, okay, I don't even care. Who cares? These are the best. Pot of Gold, so unique, so different. I remember seeing it in Soar Carl's live stream. Soar Carl, if you guys know who that is, he's a Twitch streamer, and I instantly fell in love with it. I'm really glad he used it on that day. I'm really glad I was watching that stream, because if I wasn't, I never would have gotten this pickaxe. It would just probably be one of those pickaxes that I look to and be like, wow, how did I miss out on that? But thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and tell me, guys, what is your top 10? What is your top 10 least favorite as well? Thank you guys. I'll see you guys later.